Hey, Shalom, giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. I want to give a sincere Shalom, Labakariam Shah, Yasha Allah, that's peace to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Now, who you're looking at right here is Ray Dalio, if I said his name correctly, last name. This guy has the #1 hedge fund firm that he developed in the U.S. I think they even said the world. So this guy's an insider. He's a billionaire. And he's gonna kick some information for you, man. So that's why you don't play around with these prophecies right now. Because if you remember inside that world, that movie, The World Left Behind, the black guy, he was working for a hedge fund firm. He had billionaire clients. Big deal. And they were insiders. And one of his billionaire clients made a joke about preparing and leaving. Then one day he said he got a phone call from this client. And he said, I'm not joking. This thing is going down. So he's going to say a few things and we're going to listen. We're going to listen close. Because this proves, once again, the Holy Scriptures to be #1 and that you're in the right place. But this is just a little information on this guy here. Right? Raymond Thomas Dalio. Right, he's an American investor, hedge fund manager who has served as a co-chief investor officer of the world's largest hedge fund. Okay, Bridgewater Association, developed since 1985, so on and so forth. So this is who we're going to listen to now. Okay, so this ain't no joke. So this guy's a billionaire. So they watch different news. They checking out the signs of the time. They don't know the prophecy. But I give it to them. They own it. And these type of men here, they don't put their money in dollars. They understand the dollar is a commodity. You trade the dollar, on the market. Like you trade suede or like you trade melanin. You can look up melanin. There's a price for melanin on the market. So they understand what real money is. They don't run out, and convert their dollars to crypto. No. They move their money in gold and silver. They understand that's the only thing that can back any fiat currency out here, whatever you deem. Because at one time, certain populations used to use shells for currency. But there was something behind the shell. So the real money is gold and silver. Okay? That's called God's money. So we're going to listen to what this guy got to say. Then we're going to get some scriptures here.
A 30% chance of the U.S. falling into civil war, I think in the next...
By the way, he's being interviewed by this guy here. He's being interviewed by this guy here, Tom. Okay, this is his channel. Now, Ray, he has his own channel also, where he goes over, the finances, daily, and they're bringing some good points to the end of this empire. Okay, hold on, Salakia.
Acorns makes investing really easy. This because
I
actually don't like thinking about money, despite my give a 30% chance of the U.S. falling into civil war, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, and that a major conflict with China at 35% in the next 10 years.
Now, he wrote a book a few years back, and he gave those estimates. He said that we're going to go to war. The percentage was 30 to 35 with China and Russia. But now he had to change those percentages based on the current events. And he placed America at the forefront. So, these billionaires, they're moving.
Yes, but you lay out a lot of data before you say that it's just a guess. So it's obviously a very well-informed guess. One, do those numbers roughly hold for you still? And if they do, how do we pump the brakes on this?
I would say that those numbers probably are a little bit higher now, I would say.
I was afraid you'd say that.
Yeah, see, and watch his body language, both of them. Because like you said, he gave out the percentages of us going to war, a total collapse, civil war, the money being destroyed. He said it was a 30% chance in the next 10 or 15 years. This was a few years ago in his book. But now he's saying, though, that percentage is higher now. It's higher. But watch his body language.
A little bit quicker.
Do you mind ballparking me? If we're not at 30, are we 31? Are we 40?
Yeah, let's say 35 to 40.
Look, he stuttered. He don't want to tell him the truth. Look.
Yeah, let's say
Do you mind ballparking me? If we're not at 30, are we 31? Are we 40?
Yeah, let's say 35 to 40.
He's lying. He know it's close. It's close. Why don't you tell the people? They can't. You see, he's sweating. They can't. Now, this is an insight. This guy is up there. Look him up. They know what's going on. He's sweating. He said, man, I got to change them numbers. And this was done a day ago. This interview was done yesterday. Okay? They're nervous. They don't know the prophecies, but they know we at the end of an empire. They know that. This guy probably got all kind of bunkers. This is 2 Peter's, 1 Peter's 1:19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy. And that's what we got to stick with, Akim Akwath. We're in the right place. And the Lord said we have a more sure word, Salakia, of prophecy. Now, when you go into this word, sure, this is the Greek.
Strong's G 949. Bebios.
Stable. So this word is stable because we actually reading the words of our Lord Yahushua. He is the word. It's stable, fast, firm, trusty, force. So this word, we have a more sure, forceful word. So we can give it to them like this. And when the word is of force, strength, power. So what we hold, these prophecies, remember the testimony of the Lord is the spirit of prophecy. So if you can see these prophecies, that means you can see the kingdom. We understand that Esau's kingdom is done. That's part of the prophecy. And Jacob, the elect, inherits the new kingdom under our Lord Hamashiach. And that the world was going to be in this condition and even worse when our Lord get back to judge the world. These are all the prophecies, and the Lord has put that in our hands. That's power, energy, might, vigor, muscle, weight, right? I think we get it. We get it, right? Energy, might, vigor, muscle, power, strength. You understand? So that's what we hold. We hold in power, force. So we have Salaki, it is kind of blurry there. It says we have also a more sure or powerful, a forceful word of prophecy, whereunto you do well that you take heed. And that's what we doing. We taking heed to these prophecies right now. Take heed.
Strong's G 4337. Prasecho.
Look at what this first say. Bring near. You better keep this word close to you. Like the kingdom of heaven was likened unto a man that found, a treasure and sold everything he had and bought that plot of land to keep it close to him. We keep this word, bring it near, to touch, to put in, right? To turn to the mind, to attend, to be attentive. Pay attention. Be attentive to what's happening right now on planet Earth, because it's sure, it's powerful. Okay? So it says, take heed, pay attention. As unto a light, which is Yahushua. He's the great dawner of the next day, the morning star, the true Lucifer, like the true light carrier. And the Lord has turned us into lights, right? They tell you to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word or these prophecies, there's no light in them. So unto a light, as long as we stay under Yahushua, we got the light that shineth in the men on the corners. We out there shining, right? In the dark, which is this place here, the valley of the shadow of death, the dark place unto the day. What day? The second coming of our Lord. The day dawn. So you know when the day dawn, that means the light is coming up. And that second coming, our Lord coming in that ship, what's that, second Esdras 13? Matthew 24, verse 29 and 30. The Lord is coming for his elect. That's going to be a bright day when the night is over. What's that? Psalms 126. It was like we woke up out of a bad dream. This is a terrible dream. So we waiting for the Lord to turn them lights on. When our Lord shows up, the light is on. That the dawn of the day. And the day star, which is Yahushua, arrive in your hearts, and that's now. That's now, which goes into Lab, it's the Hebrew for heart, which is the mind, the spirit. So they don't know the prophecies, but as you can see, you know, we got the sure word. They don't have that. What they got is they gold and silver. That's what they got. They got the power of this world, which is about to be taken from it. And as you can see, the panic on his face when he asked them what's the percentage of all these things coming to pass. Because he's nervous.
31? Are we 40?
Yeah, let's say 35 to 40% on each, let's say. And I'm not being precise, but the events that happened in the Ukraine, and that is bringing all this development internationally up at a little bit quicker pace. It's the same dynamic. There are two sides, and there'll be neutral countries, just like in the war. There was the Allies and the Axis powers, and then there would be neutral countries. And so that part is developing. The U.S. Conflict part is probably progressing a little bit quicker.
See, so they know it's moving fast. So they running out of time. They got this thing set for 2030, but they got to push it now. The Lord probably showing them all kind of signs and dreams and nightmares to get ready. So they're going to rush this thing. They're going to rush it. And the Lord making them do that because the Father said he was going to cut this thing short. Anyway, this is Matthew 24, verse 23. And except those days should be shortened. That's why everything is speeding up. The Lord can't let this drag out to 2030. It's too much happening on planet Earth and too fast. You can't even cover everything. It's like you can't even put the phone down for a second before another red alert, another breaking news, an emergency, some type of tornado, some type of earthquake. Look at the weather. All kind of hurricanes. We ain't even in hurricane season. You know, I heard a Chinese rocket just blew up in space. They got like 30 pieces, you know, of metal and debris circling the Earth at 2,000 miles per hour. What? And they saying the space stations up there are in jeopardy. You got nations. You got the Civil War just broke out in Europe. You got all kind of pestilence. They talking about the new variant, the new shutdown. They can't even control the pace of this thing. Because the Lord is speeding this up. That's why he's stuttering. Because they know that they asses got to get moving fast. So it says, except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elects, the elect, there we go, which is the special great kept amongst the clusters, the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. So that's why he's saying this thing has speeded up. You know, and the Lord gonna keep on. The Lord ain't gonna slow it down now. No.
So that part is developing. The U.S. Conflict part is probably progressing a little bit quicker. So, I mean, let's say the odds of that. On the world order, the developments in the Ukraine, maybe I should put those in perspective. Would you like me to do that?
Please, absolutely.
Okay.
Look, he punched the air out this guy. Look at his face.
Developments in the Ukraine, maybe I should put those in perspective. Would you like me to do
Please,
that?
absolutely.
Look, no life. This is the face of an Edomite right now. He like, wow. And now this fool's portfolio, 80% of his portfolio, or a big number, like had it 70, 80, is all crypto coins, man. So the billionaire gonna tell him, man, you ain't supposed to do that. Like when you gotta watch the whole video. Because remember, the billionaires, they know they buying up the silver and gold. These are the new age fools that's trying to get rich in dollars. So he gonna put most of his investment in cryptocurrency. That's money you can't see, that's controlled by the internet. Are you crazy? That's why he's looking like this. And all his millionaire friends, this is a millionaire right here. But he can't stand next to who he interviewing. These billionaires on a whole nother level. He got inside information that they looking for. Because they want to hold on to their millions, but only option they got is to buy, what, Bitcoin? Or keep the damn dollar that's about to be over. Because they know, come on, man, the dollar is done.
Okay. There is a very close relationship, a common objective of the Russians and the Chinese. So there is a competition in the world, and there's a dominant world power which is perceived as being overly controlling. So the Chinese believe that the policy of containment of the United States, in other words, just right within their borders, that there isn't a region that's suitable for them. In much the same way as the United States, there's always a geographic region that as an area of influence. The United States in the area like the Cuban Missile Crisis, Cuba, when there's a threatening power in Cuba, we reacted to that. That kind of geopolitics.
That's lucky.
Bicycle, but will anybody ride it? The automobile is here, but horses are.
They believe that the United States is sort of containing them, and they are growing in power. So that there's that dynamic, and Russia has the same kind of view, and so that there's a common, let's call it enemy, competitor. And there are 5 types of wars. There's a
now listen closely
war.
how he breaks it down. You know, and they base this on history. You know, they look at the Greeks. They believe civilization started with the Greeks. That's just that part of that Edomite Renaissance. Okay, but they will base it on the 4 major empires that's found in Daniel's the 2nd chapter and Daniel's the 7th chapter. Because when you look at the major empires, all had a 250-year reign, if I'm not mistaken. And America's just about up with theirs if you date it back to what they do, dated to from 1619. I think it comes up to 2026. Somebody can check those numbers. So they know they inching upon history repeating itself. So they follow the flow of certain empires. So he know where we stand with this empire. That's why these big guys are afraid, man. But watch how you break it down.
There's a technology war. There's a geopolitical influence war. There is a capital war. And then there's a military shooting war. And we are in the first 4 of those wars in this competition.
With China or with Russia?
With China. Well, we're not in a shooting war with China. we are in a shooting war of sorts with Russia and the Ukraine.
Boom. So check that out. So they know this is it. So you see how they put it together. You gotta read between the lines. So they know it's going to end with the bear. So they already know that. They know that China's on the scene, but they're going to deal with more of the, political issues, technology issues. China is housing America with technology. Everything you touch in America here, is made by China. So they housing them. All the cyber attacks that's going on right now. The Chinese and the Russians, they behind that. But the shooting war will end with that bear, man. So you tell me we don't have a more sure word of prophecy, man. I'm going to just end it with that, but I'm going to read it in the NLT. So pay attention, Akim Akwaf. We in a great position if we the Lord's elect, because he's shortening this thing for his elect's sake. This is 2 Peter's 1:19 NLT. Because of that experience, we have even greater confidence in the message proclaimed by the prophets. You must pay close attention to what they wrote. That's being in this book constantly. Watching these videos, praying, fasting, so the Lord can continue to open your mind. For their words are like a lamp shining in a dark place until the day dawns and Hamashiach, the morning star, shines in our heart. And we itching upon that day. So these are insiders here. This is no joke. They are very, very afraid of what's coming, and it can't be stopped. It's over his head. They got to go with the flow and just hope that they bunkers can resist or withstand those bombs, because it will get hot real soon. The Lord will put that spirit on Og to do what he got to do to the whore, giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, HaKodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom.